don't know, Dan. Don't take any shots at this. I don't know if you can comprehend it. That's not a shot. Don't make that face.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sidetracked. Today we're getting straight into it. We watched Dune 2, the sequel. And I just want to get off. I want to start. Whoa, okay, pause. I want to start right off the bat with the point of, okay, I thought Dune was like a stupid concept for a movie, and I didn't even want to fucking watch the first one because I personally don't like Timothée Chalamet.
All right.
Yeah,
I know that's. I don't have any reason. No, I want to say I don't really have a direct reason to not like him. I just don't like him.
Oh, yes, you do.
Well, yeah, him messing with Kylie Jenner, but I didn't like him before that either. But I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
irregardless of the fact, I'm saying I'm almost biased the other direction of not liking the Dune movies. But I heard the sequel was really fucking good. So on Wednesday, I watched the first one. Ryan, you watched the first one today, right before we went.
First and second.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I want to just get right out of the bat, no spoilers. But I watched the first one. I was like, eh. The second half was pretty good. And then I watched the sequel today, and my God.
Oh.
I take back everything I said in the last episode. This was like a breath of fresh air in the movie scene because holy fuck. I watched that movie, and the whole time I was just thinking, this is fucking beautiful. Like, the cinematography, the writing, everything was beautiful, dude.
Just tell the audience.
One of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Tell the audience. Dune 2, banger. Dune 1, banger.
I'd say
My dick riding Dune, banger.
Wow. Movie of the year.
It has to.
I don't want to speak too
music?
soon, but yeah, I mean, honestly, it'd
wanna
be hard to see something topping Dune, and I'm not even trying to glaze it. Like, I did not want to like the series.
I want to speak too soon because I feel like movies today are like so trash.
You know what's crazy?
They are.
The crazy thing is Marvel in the recent movies had like double the budget of the Dune movie, or like triple. I forgot. Like way more of a budget.
Yeah, did you know? I wanted
was beautiful.
I wanted to say I actually looked into this a little bit. Did you know that Dune, from the get-go, was going to be a two-parter? Like off rip, and they budgeted that out like from the beginning. Like they were like, okay, like they did the first movie and they were already like planning out doing the second one, and they were already funding it and everything, which is a crazy risk.
Split it.
Well, yeah, it was a crazy risk because the first movie, like there was a Dune movie in the 70s that was like a complete bomb.
No,
That shit
it was
corny.
80, I think.
Was
80s,
it? Jack,
yeah.
can you fact check when the first Dune came
It
out?
was in the 80s.
84.
sometime.
All I know is it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was 80s.
1984.
Early.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that movie completely flopped. It was terrible. And then
84.
84? Fuck yeah. Good man, boys. But yeah, so that movie flopped, so it was kind of a big risk for them to be like, okay, we're going to take this high budget movie and we're going to do two of them
It was so
off rip.
the acting.
Cuz they took a huge chance cutting off the first one where they did. Cuz the first one, I mean, like I said, we're not doing spoilers yet. We're going to do a more in-depth review in a little bit here. But the first movie, like, they kind of cut it off halfway into the plot, really.
Well,
It's all exposition almost. Almost the whole movie is exposition.
they have to build up like the whole world building and
That's
shit.
why I'm saying, like, the only reason I was kind of like, I think it's still a good movie, don't get me wrong, but it's all exposition. There's not really too much of a climax. There's little moments,
It was a lot more
but the
action.
majority of it was like, yeah. But like the second one,
The second one, holy
God.
Well,
hits
dude,
the
like,
ground running, really, because, I mean, of where the last one left
I
off.
think they took the risk because it actually is a good plot,
Yeah.
and then they hired some great actors.
Yeah, that's facts.
They had
Yeah.
a lot of
Fucking
variety.
Thanos.
Yeah, they had Josh Brolin.
Yeah, the guy who
The
played
Aquaman,
Thanos,
Zendaya.
yeah.
Like,
Jason
it was-
Momoa in the first
It was
one,
doomed to be good.
Like, whoa.
All right, bro. I'm getting like.
Yeah, they were all in
secondhand.
like superhero movies though.
Dude, me too.
Zendaya was in Spider-Man. Josh Brolin was Thanos and Cable.
Yeah. Has Chalamet been in anything like that?
No,
I don't think so.
And then who's the other one?
Aquaman. That was
Aquaman.
DC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Momoa was in the
Yeah.
first Dune, yeah. All right, from here on out though,
Beautiful movie.
here's your spoiler warning gone. Anything past this point, I mean, go watch Dune if you give a fuck that much. Otherwise, we're going to spoil some shit now.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, I think in the first one, the whole like concept of like them sending like these people to the planet, like doomed from the get-go is kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, they sent them because the Emperor got jealous.
Yeah.
And he's like,
pretty
"All right, let's
much.
get those fuckers out.
Yeah, they knew that the kid was kind of a fuck up being like washed, which you don't really find out until the sequel. That like he's kind of like crossbred between like what is it? The Harkonnens?
He's
Yeah, the
a
Harkonnens
Harkonnen,
and
he's
the
Duke of Atreides.
yeah,
Atreides.
yeah,
And then
Atreides
he's
and
Rebecca's
Harkonnen.
son.
Yeah.
I can use the voice.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
The chosen one. It's just like Star Wars.
Now I don't know if this is true, but I heard from like the books that like
he gets ugly.
No, like he ends up like becoming like one of the sandworms.
No, that's his son.
His son becomes a sandworm?
He gets merged. I don't know.
So apparently the sandworms were people.
What?
That's what they say supposedly in the books.
No.
I don't want to say that for sure. And I almost don't even want to fact check it because then I feel like it'll spoil it. But apparently there's like something to do with the spice, like it transforms you.
Oh yeah, no, his son was too close. I think he like interacted with spice so much he turned into like half sandworm.
The fuck do you mean half sandworm?
I don't know. I saw some weird images. I saw some weird images where it's like a person half morphing into like
that's his son.
Sandworm, and then
that's his son.
Dude,
I'm like, dude.
That's why I'm saying the next movie is gonna be weird if they include that. In the next movie.
It's gonna be him versus the houses. Is gonna be the next movie, part 3.
But I'm saying just this movie almost instilled the idea of like wanting to go back and rewatch the old Star Wars movies.
Oh, you don't like Star Wars, do you?
Maybe I got to give it a chance. Yeah, I said I didn't like them, but I never really fully watched through all of the original ones. I just like I couldn't. All the people just glazing it so much.
This
it makes
is what
me not
you
like
saw.
it.
Like how the first Dune was the story building was like
that was like
the first one and
the
then
Lost Hope or whatever it's called, New Hope.
Yeah, New Hope, then Empire Strikes Back. But dude, I think the turning point on the new movie, it was good, but like right when Paul Atreides went to the south and drank the elixir of life. That's when shit got like. That's when something flipped a switch, and he was fucking on deep.
I was gonna say, seeing his transition from like this humble like kid who's like lost his family, to becoming just this overlord of an entire planet, fucking sick.
Yeah, he drank that elixir, and then he flipped a switch.
And apparently some fucked up shit happens to him in the next one.
Fucking crazy character.
So I'm really looking forward to the third movie because supposedly from the books like, some really fucked up shit happens to him.
But to be fair, he was born into power though.
Yeah.
So it's not like this fucking nobody coming into like a leader.
No, I know what you mean, but I mean having your entire fucking bloodline pretty much wiped out.
Yeah, but that made him the leader though.
Sorta, yeah.
So he wouldn't have all that power if his family didn't die.
I mean, he still was born with the power.
Yeah,
if that
that's
makes
what I
sense,
meant.
though.
Yeah,
so even if it's yeah. Well, I mean, he had the power from the get go. Yeah.
It's not like he's a nobody.
But I'm saying it's still fucked up that he lost all of his family except for his mother.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, but that gave him more power though.
Actually, he
sorta.
And then that fucking water made him smarter, right?
Yeah. No, that
the life elixir
give him clarity.
Worms, yeah. It's just a whole
dude. I love how movies don't soften up, bro. He like went right for vengeance. He stabbed that fat.
I was gonna say no. The second that him and Austin Butler started fighting, I was like, I hope to God that he gets stabbed because I don't want this movie to be like, oh, he's like on this grind the whole movie and then he fights this guy and just defeats him just like that. Like, I wanted to like. Yeah, I like that they actually made the idea of like, okay, he's about to lose.
No, it's actually crazy. I don't even know if you in the books, he like one tapped him, but in the movie they had because all that build up.
I was gonna say
they would have one tapped.
Yeah,
you told me that the theater almost punched you.
No, yeah, obviously I wouldn't.
I saw like a TikTok.
Can I also say too? I think it was Austin Butler. Yeah, he killed his role.
Oh, it was
that guy.
Dude, it was like
I didn't even think about him. Like, I mean, obviously I recognized it like face wise, but like he was like doing the role so well that like I didn't think of like all his other movies.
I liked how he played the character, and he was just like one of those people that just didn't care. You saw him just
you could tell he's just
he's
extremely high ego. He's just kind of sitting in this moment where
he wasn't like the big villain, but like he was a nice.
He's a
very interesting character.
He's like an inquisitor from Star Wars.
Yeah.
You guys know.
I like it when a movie can introduce a character and like flesh them out as just like someone in the story, rather than like having to cater to them. You know, I feel like a lot of movies they'll like introduce a character and then it's like they're catering and trying so hard to make them like an interesting character.
Well, they started off
to the point where you're like, okay, I don't even want to.
Well, they gave him all that power by like showing that arena scene.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, this guy's like a big shot.
I mean, he is.
And I wasn't fucking with his character at all until he took the shield off too, and then like
he was
threw his shield to the side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now I'm fucking.
Dude, I thought he was.
I was like, this is so stupid. Like
Even
you're sitting here with the shield on, and you're gonna fight people that are drugged up.
Even before that, when he was like choosing his weapons, though, he just like stabbed those 2 chicks just to test out the weapons.
Yeah. That was
kind of shows how evil he is, and like.
That was a nice intro scene.
Yeah.
I always love like thinking into like the directing side of like a movie like this. Because like that, they're really the one like choosing the shots and being like, okay, this is how we're gonna do this section. Yeah. It's so cool. They have this a whole idea of the movie in their mind, and then they bring that to film. I don't know. I think directing's such a cool job.
I don't know who directed Dune, but that shit was beautiful.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The whole time I was locked.
That's what I was talking to Ryan about too. I'm like, dude, this scene looks fucking like. That's one word that I would use to describe the entire movie. It's just beautiful.
It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
the cinematography.
The music,
I'm like,
the
even if
slow-mo.
you're even if you're not looking for the nice story, which I mean the story was amazing, don't get me wrong. But more than anything, if you're like one of those people that just likes to see like quality CGI and like good cinematography, that's Dune.
They
like
love
the color
floating
grading, the color grading and all the like the scenes, the way that they make like this orangish kind of like colored sand and they blend in all the people in the background. Like, dude, that's not how the actual footage looked. Like they have to set. That's why these movies take so long. They're sitting there in the studios for hours on end, dude. Just people taking each scene by scene, color grading it, and making sure everything looks perfect for like.
I still can't believe they did it with that. I mean, it's a fat budget.
Yeah, it's still a
but,
big
like,
budget, but
to
yeah.
Marvel.
No, I agree.
Marvel looks like shit.
That's why I'm saying it's so ridiculous
When
that
someone
I don't want to rehash what we talked about last episode, but the fact that they have all this money and they're putting out these shitty ass movies.
I feel like it's like
why
when
it's so
creators,
polarizing.
the creators actually like what they're creating.
Yeah.
They'll put out a
What's
masterpiece.
that one movie that just dropped? Madam Web.
I heard that flopped. I didn't even see
Did you
it.
see?
The budget was high and it was just so shit.
Okay, well, let me get into two things to do with Madam Web. One, the main star, God, what's her name? Huh?
No,
Yep,
it's-
Dakota Johnson is literally shitting on the movie because she knows how bad it was, and at least she's not sitting here
Wasn't
trying
it-
to gas
She
it
got
up.
money,
Sweetie.
Yeah.
What's
So
Sydney
Dakota
Sweeney
Johnson,
or
yeah,
some shit.
and Sydney Sweeney was in it, but Dakota Johnson literally said that she's never gonna do a superhero movie again because of how bad that was, and she was also saying that, like literally the whole cast was like kind of working against her almost. It's kind of a weird situation.
That's probably why.
But the main point I wanted to get into is they rehired the same guy that did Morbius to do Madam Web.
That's fucked.
Because they go as like shitty as Morbius was, which I never really watched, so I can't speak on it too much. But I've heard it was very
Wait,
shitty.
who?
Yeah.
Jared Leto?
No, the creator, like the I don't know if it was the head writer. I don't know if it was the head. Yeah, can you fact check this, Jack? I don't know if it was the head story writer or if he was the director of Morbius. But they hired that guy to do Madam Web because they were like, as shitty as Morbius was, it was like a big box office hit because of how bad it was that everybody wanted to go see it.
Wow,
So they're like,
got two
they're like, yeah,
movies.
yeah. They're like, let's bring this guy back to do Madam Web, which it's dumbest fucking decision by Marvel.
Dude, I don't even think fucking.
God,
Who's that one that did Suicide Squad?
the first one,
Oh,
No, the second one, the better one.
second one, James Gunn.
Jack
James Gunn,
Snyder.
I don't think James
Oh.
Gunn can even save that movie.
I don't think so.
It's just shit plot,
Yeah.
shit fucking.
I'm really curious to see what his Superman movie performs as, because if that one's good, I have hope for DCEU. Otherwise, I'm like, fuck, DC's fucked.
Yeah. I don't,
Because he's the new Kevin Feige for DC, pretty
I
much.
don't care for DCU. I just want Batman 2
I don't either, but
next year.
I mean, if he can really start building out a quality like fucking world, he might be able to take over Marvel in that aspect.
I just
Because
care
Marvel's been bad
I
recently.
just care about Pattinson on.
Well,
Pattinson's pretty good.
you guys talking about DC and Marvel. I'm just thinking about the Emperor's
That's all we talked about last
daughter
episode,
in
though.
Dune is just the baddest
This
female
guy's
I've
full
ever
bricked.
seen.
Yeah, the parallels are crazy because George Lucas literally based Star Wars off of the Dune books, which is fucking insane.
And I
Yeah.
can see the dude.
Yeah,
it
you can
was
see it. Yeah.
Padme and Anakin, and
Yeah.
then you have Paul and Zendaya's character.
Like as little as I know about Star Wars, I was watching Dune and I'm like, all this just
oh yeah,
leads like Star Wars.
It
And
was
I'm
like-
sure people that don't know better are probably thinking like, oh, they're ripping off Star Wars.
that arena
But that's
scene.
not even how it is.
That
Yeah.
arena scene.
I mean,
it was
the
just
movie-
reminding me of
Star
Jabba
Wars
the
movie
Hutt.
was made first.
Yeah, but the books, which are literally everything, like the Emperor and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, that was all before.
Dude,
know?
his it was just reminding me of Jabba the Hutt. That one evil. It's just Jabba.
Especially how he had all the chicks too, which it was weird because all of them just can't grow hair, so they're all just like pretty looking bald chicks. It's kind of weird,
bro,
dude.
I just want the Emperor's daughter, bro. She's so fine.
It was like Jabba the Hutt and Emperor.
Oh, you're talking about the other Emperor. You're talking about the like the regular looking kind of like Christopher Walken.
No,
You
he's
talking
talking
him?
about the fat
Dune's
guy.
Emperor.
The fat
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. He's talking about Christopher Walken.
Bro, that daughter.
Oh.
Dude, I like how Paul
He's
just
talking about
goes,
Florence Pugh.
dude, right when
She's
Paul
so fine.
Atreides saw the Emperor's daughter, he goes,
He goes, "I
"I'm
want her
taking
hand."
her hand in marriage," and he looked
fuck
back
up.
at Zendaya. And she's
You
like,
love-
"What the fuck?"
You love your brown-eyed chicks.
Oh, that's another point I wanted to get in before we leave Dune as a topic. I just wanted to say, dude,
We've
I
been
know we
on
talked
this
about it in the
for a
movie
while.
theater, but my God, bro, if I was Tom Holland, I would be punching the fuck out of the air. I'd be so sad.
Zendaya's not that bad.
No, yeah, me too. I don't think that at all.
You guys
Or I think that
are
too.
the cope is crazy, bro.
No, it's not cope, bro.
No,
Zendaya,
it's not that bad.
Zendaya
Fact
is fine.
check,
You guys are
is
crazy.
Is Zendaya hot?
You guys are
Zendaya is
glazing her.
fine as fuck, and you guys are crazy.
I think okay, she's in like all the top fucking. Oh, she's in like what's that
Utopia.
show? That
Utopia.
stupid show.
Euphoria.
Everyone watches Euphoria.
You can't glaze
she's
her in
in that
Euphoria.
show.
I mean, she's a fucking crackhead in
Yeah,
Euphoria.
I didn't even know.
They don't try to make her look good at all in Euphoria. They try to make her look like a terrible drug addict.
Really?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
she's sitting here the whole series. She's going like this, and she's like trying hard
Yeah.
not to like get.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a complete drug addict in that show, and they like fucking try to make her
I
look.
thought she was like a
shit.
main character.
Yeah, she is kind of the main. I mean, she's like, she shares the spotlight with a couple other people, but
Euphoria's
she is
weird.
technically, if you were gonna say the main character, yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, she's.
But they don't try to make her look good at all whatsoever in the show. They make her look like this drug addict that's like.
I still don't
fucking
think she's fine.
losing her
Yeah,
shit.
she's not fine.
You guys are crazy.
Mm.
You guys are
I know.
crazy.
I hung out with her last weekend.
That's actually insane.
Alright.
That is an insane fucking. You guys are. That's a hot take from you guys.
I don't know, bro. She's
Nah.
not that bad.
Yeah, I know.
Overhyped her 'cause she was in Spider-Man.
I don't know a lot of. hot
Overhyped
famous
is one thing,
people.
but to say that she's not like very attractive,
be
she's
fair-
definitely very
To be
attractive.
fair, I can't name a lot of hot famous people.
Megan Fox, Madison, Celine,
Margot Robbie, Sabrina Carpenter.
Sydney
Outer
Sweeney.
Banks, Sarah Cameron.
Dude, Sabrina Carpenter, my God. she's
I've been on
probably one of the
Sydney
hottest,
Sweeney. I
women
just
I've
want
ever
to say
seen.
this.
She's mid too.
Shut the fuck up.
She's mid.
I've been on Sydney Sweeney since that Netflix show called Boring or something.
I hate calling a girl
Nothing,
mid, bro. That's
everything
so crazy.
sucks. Everything
Mid.
sucks.
To say they're mid?
Been
Yeah.
on her.
That's so crazy, dude.
I don't know if she because she's blonde.
There's one thing to say that, like,
Dude, yeah, you love black haired chicks.
God, dude. I
That's
don't,
Now
all
but
you
the
like.
Emperor's daughter.
I like black hair. I love blonde. I love brown.
you said who's mid, though?
Sydney Sweetie.
She's definitely very attractive.
Mm-mm. I don't find that facial structure nice to look at. That sounded fucking weird. Hold on.
Nah, you guys are crazy, bro.
Mm-mm.
You
To say-
guys.
Yeah, because you said Zendaya's not attractive.
She's not.
God, she's not.
She's
I
like,
think you
she's
can
like a
you can say she's not my type, but to say she's not attractive is insane.
She's attractive, but like she's not a rocket.
Definitely very attractive.
This chick's
That's
not
crazy.
rocket.
No, she's like a 6, bro.
I'd love to see what people say in the comments, bro. You guys are insane.
6.5, 7.
Yeah, 6.5.
Zendaya,
7's pushing.
Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney are both like very attractive.
Mid.
Sydney Sweeney's
All
hot.
both mid.
I can understand that you might say like, oh yeah, like she's beautiful but not my type. But to say that she's not beautiful,
If she had makeup
This is
on.
better than Zendaya.
Mm-mm. I
Absolutely.
Can't. I don't even know what-
I think Zendaya's prettier than
Ryan,
me personally. I think
Absolutely.
Zendaya's prettier than Sydney.
can't see
Sweeney,
that.
But besides all this Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can just close it off. Dune and Dune 2, they were both fucking great movies.
Watch.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about one more fucking great movie before we move on to the rest of the topics. I went back and watched, okay, so I saw District 9 when I was like way younger. And it was like an alright movie, but I was kind of too young to really understand any of the concepts that was going on. But going back and watching District 9 in 2024, this was, Jack, can you pull up when District 9 was made?
I think it was 2009.
Yeah, I think it was like somewhere very close to that, if not 2009, yeah. But essentially, dude, this movie, the CGI holds up insanely well.
August of 09.
Yeah, okay,
Oh, nah,
Ryan, fuck yeah.
Give me that shit.
Yeah, so August of 2009, District 9 came out. This movie's CGI looks better than a lot of the movies I've seen recently, which is fucking insane. For a low budget or fuck, what was the budget on this movie, Jack? Irregardless, there's no way that a movie in 2009 should look that good compared to what we have right now. With how
I
much
haven't- I
advancement?
haven't seen that.
30 million.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, that's relatively low budget for something as much as like the VFX that they had to do for that movie. 30 million is
30
crazy.
million?
Do you know how much the budget is on like Marvel movies?
Like 100 something?
Well over.
200?
Well over. Yeah,
300?
yeah, dude. A lot of the movies are 300 plus.
Yeah.
Like they're putting over $1 billion into a lot of these movies, dude. Or like 900.
How?
All right, not $1 billion. No
Dude.
way.
Average Marvel movie budget is 356 million.
Yeah.
How, bro?
It's crazy. They put a fuck ton of money into their movies.
America does not even have
And I'm
that
telling you,
much.
dude, like a lot of these Marvel movies, their CGI Their CGI looks like shit compared to like fucking
Bro,
District 9.
who's spending
Yeah.
300? Who's spending 300 million on a movie, bro?
Marvel.
That's so
Disney,
stupid.
dude,
Shit.
think about it though. Disney has fuck you money.
Think of all the shit we could do with 300 million. If we spent on fucking Infinity
You
War.
got to understand though, a lot of these movies,
Name.
bro. Spider-Man: No Way Home made over $1 billion.
God, dude, that's fucking crazy. Who's
you
getting
put,
all that
you
money?
put 400 million into a movie and you make $1 billion back. You made $600 million.
Who's getting
That's
all that
insane.
money though?
Disney. Disney's the owner of Marvel and all of those companies.
Split it between the actors.
Yeah, the actors get some of it.
Dude, the actors get like fucking
pennies
pennies, bro.
compared.
Nah.
Actually, wait.
Nah, dude, Robert Downey Jr. made $75 million on Infinity War and another $75 million on Endgame.
Okay, never
Holy
mind.
fuck.
That's $150 million just for doing those two movies.
Yeah, it is.
That guy
I've seen
lived
it-
the rest of
yeah.
his life off of just those
Seen
two
a video on
movies,
that,
and well
on
over,
the
yeah.
budget, or
Yeah.
the cuts.
It's insane. But okay, just to finish out this topic, I'll throw up some pictures of the VFX in District 9. Look at this one,
What's up, brother?
this one. Yeah. Hey, bro, you did it first, bro. Get out of here. Don't hit me with that shit. But yeah, dude, just take a look at those. Tell me if you guys think that shit looks fucking insane. Compared to, we're going to pop up a couple of the recent Marvel movies. Side by side. Which one do you think looks more realistic or fits the scene?
The one on the left.
I'll leave it to you guys. I'm just saying. Wow. That's fucking ridiculous. We can get into your topic now, but I wanted to throw that District 9 shit in there because it's crazy for
Yeah.
CGI to hold up that well.
Oh yeah.
You'd think right now we would have much better fucking looking movies. Which, don't get me wrong, we do.
Muy
Like
bonito.
Dune. But fuck. All right, well, Dan, did you want to get into the next segment now?
Oh yeah. So
All right,
who you
Ryan.
guys think's gonna win, Mike Tyson or Jake Paul, in the upcoming Netflix?
I'm putting my money on
July
Jake Paul.
8th, I think.
Is that confirmed though?
Yeah. Exactly. Netflix confirmed it.
Jack,
Everything.
fact check that.
I swear.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. I'm putting my money on Jake Paul. I don't care what you guys
No,
say.
I'm actually gonna agree with you.
Mike Tyson's old, bro.
Have you
Mike
not seen his
Tyson's-
training videos recently on
He
TikTok?
trains hard as fuck, and he's in good condition for his age.
Yeah,
he is
yeah, yeah.
not beating Jake
He's
Paul.
57. He's fucking well trained.
I don't think you
But
It
I
is
think-
it is
I-
official per ESPN.
should. Yeah.
I think Jake Paul is just like
You're
bribing
crazy.
everybody.
No, Mike
He's gonna
Tyson's
win
gonna
every
win.
fight.
Even regardless of bribing, Jake Paul is
He's
way more
young.
fit.
Young and hung.
No, you guys haven't seen
Mike
how he
Tyson is
moves.
how old, Jack?
57.
57.
57.
Jake Paul
57,
has him.
27. He's got 30 years on him, but dude, if you saw his recent training videos of Mike Tyson,
No, I know.
bro, he is moving.
He is-
Tyson's training.
Tyson
Tyson's
isn't.
actually training.
Tyson isn't insanely fit, but he's 57.
Old bull
All right,
versus.
we're
young
watching
calf.
this, and then
Okay,
you're gonna
okay. Let me
see you.
just preface. You're pushing 60. You're pushing 60 fighting someone under 30.
That is still training though. Mike Tyson is still training, dude. He is a. If you saw the training,
27, you're arguably like in your strongest almost. Like I know they say 35 is prime,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like 35 you're starting to kind of like, all right, you're not going to really be as jacked as you were when you're like 29, you know what I mean?
Mike Tyson's winning that Jake Paul.
He's 20,
fight.
dude, no.
I don't care what you say, dude. His training videos.
Do we want to place bets? Do we want to place bets?
Yeah. When it
Does that
gets
kid
when it
get
gets to
knocked out
July.
yet?
Look
Huh?
at right here. Wait, Jack has it up. That's the most recent video of Mike
I've seen
Tyson.
it, bro.
He is moving,
I
bro.
don't care.
He is
He's got his booty shorts on.
I don't care what his training is or what drugs he's taking. He is not beating Jake Paul at 27 when he is almost 60.
I still feel like Paul will probably not.
Bro, he's got the
Unfortunately, I hate to believe it, but Paul's probably gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's got that battle IQ. He has his
fucking
old.
old,
It is
bro.
rigged if Jake Paul wins though.
It is.
It is.
That's
'Cause,
what I
dude,
hate.
with all that
people are going to say that automatically if Jake Paul wins, oh, it was rigged.
It has to.
That's such a takeaway from Jake Paul because I don't think it will be.
Mike Tyson's got that battle IQ. He's been
Mike
through-
Tyson is not going to shell out for a bag. He has so much money. He's not going to shell out because
He actually
Jake Paul says, "Hey, I'll give you $4 million if you let me win."
didn't he go like
$4 million is nothing to him, bro.
Tyson is not going to shell out for money.
Mike Tyson, like,
There's no
spent
way
all
you're going to
his
say
money.
it's rigged, bro.
Mike Tyson spent all of his money, bro. He like went bankrupt.
Dan, I love you, bro. There's
He
not a
overspent.
chance in hell it's rigged. With the Woodley shit, I can understand people being like, "Yeah, him versus Woodley."
All right, but
kind
Mike
of
Tyson,
iffy. Mike Tyson, that is not
he
going
has
to
his
be rigged.
name on the line.
Even
That's why
dude,
he's
even
training
Mayweather.
so
No,
hard. He's still going.
even him and Mayweather. I'm like, I can understand you being like, okay, that's rigged, because Mayweather is just such a fuck for money, dude. Tyson, no.
Yeah, he's not.
There's no way Tyson is caving for money to Jake Paul. He even said in the past that previously he didn't want to fight Jake Paul.
No, he said he wanted to. They literally had a podcast clip. He goes, "I'd still beat him," and that's why it's all started right now.
I'm saying well before that though. I can pull up the clip too.
No,
He literally says, "I don't want to fight Jake Paul."
bullshit. Bullshit. I just saw a clip.
Saying bullshit when there's literally.
He
a clip
literally
of
just,
it.
dude. I just saw a clip, and he goes, "No, I'd still beat him," and that's how this is all like kind of started.
All right. Well,
Because
I'm
I'll
saying
still beat him
multiple
when he
years
loses.
ago where Jake Paul literally had a video with him. One of his members said, "All right, but would you guys ever fight?" And they both look at each other, and Tyson's like, "I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that."
I think you both are lying.
I'm not.
I'm
not.
I can see the
Fucking
clip in my
kidding.
brain.
Kidding.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes in January.
I think it's
Not January.
Tyson literally goes, "I wouldn't want to do that. Like, don't even mention that. Like,
Probably to
he's
get
my
mixed
buddy."
with a YouTuber's name.
No,
And
it was
for the-
him and Logan Paul. They were talking about both of them. He was like, "Would you ever fight Jake or Logan Paul?" And he was like, "I love those guys. I love those guys." He like, with his like accent and all that shit. It's like, I wouldn't fight him. I wouldn't fight him.
I feel like
Yeah, because he like.
Jake has had him on his podcast.
I feel like he doesn't want that YouTube stuff, and then he said he doesn't want him because like they're like his boys, but nah.
I think people just kept pitting them against each other, and they like just built it up to a thing where like, okay, a fight could happen.
if he was smart, he would have only taken that fight if he knew he could win.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So I feel like he knows.
What I think it really comes down to is sort of what you were saying. There is a video online where Jake says, "I would beat Mike," and I think that's where it changed. But
No,
before
I said-
that, before anything, Mike always said, "I wouldn't do it."
No, Mike literally just said he goes, "I'd beat him up." Even.
So I'm saying this is probably more recent. But I'm
Yeah.
saying a long time ago, Mike started it with saying, "I wouldn't fight him," and then Jake later on was like, "No, I'd fight him," and then I think that's where it built to now.
He's built different.
Yeah,
He has too
I don't
much
think
of
I don't think
ego.
Tyson's winning.
I have no
He'll
idea.
still be the GOAT if he loses. Even if he gets knocked out, he'll be the GOAT.
Nah, bro,
There's no-
he's shunned from my mind.
Nah.
Really?
Loses.
Bro, what?
Dan, your head is fucked.
Bro,
He doesn't lose.
How old
to
is Jake
fucking
Paul?
Jake Paul.
What,
Even though he's
27?
Tyson loses, he's
Okay,
still a fucking
Mike
legend in my
Mike
book.
Tyson at age 27 versus Jake Paul at age 27.
It would be a rap.
It'd be
At
rap.
60, he's still beating.
It'd be an absolute rap, dude. Like Tyson, easily.
Yeah.
Tyson at 40. Tyson at 40 versus Jake Paul right now. I would say raps.
Yeah, it'd be
But
rap.
the fact that he's 57, you're a madman if you're telling me that you think Tyson's winning.
Yeah.
As amazing of a boxer.
If
and
he
fighter
loses,
has
I'm gonna
been-
blame it on the age difference for sure.
Yeah, same.
No, he's
You're
gonna
not as
go.
what is it, lumber,
Yeah.
nimble, fucking any of them.
Mike Tyson's the type of psychopath. If you stabbed him, he would actually get stronger. Like that's the type of shit he's on.
His adrenaline would kick, that's for sure.
Not fucking Chuck Norris, bro.
Nah, he's fucking Chuck Norris.
I don't care what you say, dude. 57 versus 27.
He's still winning. He's gonna make a joke.
People forget Jake Paul's a big dude.
Mhm.
He's a big guy.
He's like
Mike
six.
Tyson
he's
weighs
6'1".
I think 6'1 or 6'2. He's tall. He's up
No,
there.
Jake Paul's like 6.
He's a unit. Yeah, he's a
Or
unit.
Jake Paul's
6 foot.
he's 6 foot.
Yeah.
And then I think Logan Paul's 6'2".
Yeah.
2 inches on your older or young or.
I'm not gonna lie. I think if Logan Paul and Jake Paul fought, Logan's winning.
I don't
Oh
think
shit, he's
that would,
yeah.
that would actually go crazy.
Well,
I wouldn't
actually,
say
don't
no
know.
shit.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't say no shit. I think it'd be a
I'd
close
take
fight,
that
but I'd say Logan would win.
Yeah, I'd take that back.
Yeah.
It's not no
6'2".
shit. Yeah, Logan's 6'2".
Yeah.
5'10".
I think Logan says he's clean though. He's had to have done something. I don't mean to be one of those guys that like there's no way you get into that shape without doing something, but dude, Logan for how quick he got into the shape that he was,
He fucking dude.
that guy got
wrestling?
sculpted for WWE. It
Yeah,
was
wrestling?
insane. Yeah. You look at his old vlogs versus like how he looked in WWE, it's crazy.
Well, he's also always been kind of jacked though, right?
No, he was always kind of big, but to where he was when he launched
he
his
just did
first fight in
I think
WWE,
he just trained.
it was definitely more than training. You got to look at the side by sides.
I don't know.
Look at the
bro.
side by sides. It's insane.
Added a little bit of spice.
It's insane. It's insane. He definitely took TRT or something. It's some wild shit.
Took the elixir of water.
Yeah.
Alright.
They say the same thing about Chris Pratt when he did Passengers.
No way.
You remember that movie?
I think Chris earned that.
I think he definitely worked hard.
Passengers.
Yeah.
He didn't get ripped for that role. He got ripped.
He got ripped.
No, he got ripped for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but he got even more ripped for Passengers.
What? Why?
Because there were a lot of shirtless scenes. I'm guessing he just wanted to look good on cam.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it was just Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, look it up, dude.
This is his first big
Real
movie
shit.
after Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he got ripped for Guardians of the Galaxy too, but
And he's been ripped
Passengers
since
was a whole
then.
different role.
No,
Yeah. With the cryo and everything?
no. He didn't get ripped for that.
Yes, dude, he did. I don't know why you're fighting that for no reason.
I'm not
Like,
fighting it.
He
I'm
did.
just
He did.
disagreeing.
Yeah, I'm saying, dude, no, he got fully like ripped for that. Like that role in
Honestly,
particular.
He got ripped for it.
There was a
I think he
whole
already,
thing.
I think he was already in a good.
Jack, fact
I think-
check this.
I think he's already in a good shape.
Look up, did Chris Pratt get ripped for Passengers?
And look up, did
He
Chris
did a
Pratt
whole
get
training.
ripped? And then look up, did Chris Pratt get ripped for?
Nobody's
Guardians of the
denying
Galaxy.
Guardians, but they were filmed at way different times.
Okay, but
What do you
was
mean?
he not still
Jack,
ripped?
look up if
Was
3
he not
inches
just
is
ripped?
average.
No. Guardians versus Passengers? You got your shit out of order, my guy.
I got shit.
Ripped the healthy way for passengers.
See? He did a whole 6 to 8 month training regime just for Passengers
To be an
alone.
astronaut, bro?
Dude. I don't know if you remember Passengers. You might have to rewatch the movie. He got fucking jacked for that movie. We was sitting there and he was trying to fucking pull the doors open and shit. He's ripped as fuck in that movie. Like way more ripped than he was in Guardians.
Yes, I've only seen it once.
Yeah, you
3
got to
inches
rewatch that
average?
shit. That's why I was saying I don't know why you're
No, I've seen it, like,
fighting on that.
twice.
Because dude, he was fucking.
No, I'm not fighting.
There's a
it.
whole fucking series on YouTube of him like fucking just heavy training for that shit. Like he got so ripped for that role that everybody was saying that he was doing some crazy steroids or some shit.
I'm fucking cooked.
Why are you
Fucking wild.
cooked?
I told Jack if 3 inches is average, and he just looked at me and shook his head.
All right, bro.
Okay, bro.
That's some weird ass shit.
What the fuck?
It's actually
bro?
like-
No
It's-
cuts, no cuts.
It's an iPhone. It's an iPhone 15.
Man, that's not a
plus.
cut, bro.
No, that's all I'm saying.
Hmm?
That's really weird, bro.
All I'm saying is, dude. A lot of people get written off as excuses, but I think a lot of people are definitely doing some wild shit to get into the shapes that they're.
Dude, who was
Yeah,
that?
for these movies.
Fucking.
Half a TikTok.
Who's that? Maze Runner. Fucking.
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dylan.
No. The other guy, Gally. Who's Gally?
I don't know.
And the guy from Where the
The
Millers
guy looks
Jack?
just like Jack.
That played the new superhero or
Yeah.
supervillain.
William Poulton?
We have William,
William
Poulter.
Yeah.
Fuck
Will
is that?
Poulter.
Yeah.
He got ripped for that one role. Was his name the superhero Jack?
Adam.
Adam
God, what is it?
Adam
Adam
Warlock.
Warlock, yep.
Yeah, he got
Yep.
ripped for that fucking
Who the
role.
fuck is-
I really
That's
hope.
another glow up.
I really hope Marvel keeps him going forward.
For what? What was he?
He was
He
Adam
died?
Warlock. He was this golden guy. No, he was still alive
What
at the
movie?
Was he?
end. In Guardians 3.
Oh, I
No,
didn't
Guardians
watch
3.
that.
Well, I mean, he's at the very end credits of Guardians 2. He's not in that movie at all.
Season 2 appeared in 3.
Yeah.
He was teased in two.
Yeah, in the end credits.
Dude, I'm so out of it.
Yeah, right at the end of
Marvel,
the, because they do the Marvel credits and then they do the real credits. Right after the Marvel credits, they show Adam Warlock waking up out of a chamber and he like steps out.
Then
And
you
then
stop.
Zeus is like, "Oh, hey," and then they send him out.
Did Zeus die in Thor?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Hold on, can we get a Brightburn 2? Is that in production?
I want that so
We were
bad.
talking
in
about
production?
Brightburn at work
Oh,
yesterday.
James Gunn.
Really?
James
Yeah.
Gunn, that series. He-
Me and Justin were talking about it because Nolan said he hadn't seen it, and I was like, "Dude, you guys definitely gotta." Or Nolan, you definitely gotta watch Brightburn. It's
I
like
want to see him as
Superman,
like
but,
full
fucked.
grown, or I want to
It's
see
like
him as
Superman, but if your kid just was fucked
Yeah.
in the head and you can't do anything to change him.
like I want to see him like mid 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can't
Mid-20s
take
would
him
be
serious
nuts.
as a kid, bro. I
No, I took
No, I
that-
think
I
it's
took it
scary. Yeah, I
serious.
took it serious. Like it's
Nah,
kind of
when-
You're
like
telling me when he went to the fucking super or what
Yeah,
that fast
yeah,
food place or
the
whatever?
diner?
Yeah, the diner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, when he had the mask and
When I saw the
glowing
blood
eyes-
on the
freezer
windows, I
and
mean, me
shit.
personally, I took that shit
Condon-
serious.
yeah,
No,
bro.
when he had the mask on and glowing eyes, I'm like, yeah, but when he's just like a kid, he's just
you know what?
give me the fork.
Yeah, you
No,
know what?
I agree
Give me
with
the
you.
fork. Like,
I agree with
can't
you.
take that. But if he
When
was
he
like
was sitting
in
there just getting
20s,
mad at his mom at the table, I'm like,
You know what it
I'm like,
reminded
okay, this
me
is
of though?
stupid.
And
But
he
then when he
fucking
started,
ski
when he was
mask.
like, shut the fuck up, I was like, whoa.
You know what it reminded me of though? I don't
What?
think you're gonna know this, but I think Tony will. Fucking that. It's that game. So long ago, it's called Lucius. It's like a fuck. I think like all the early content creators, like Markiplier, like Jacksepticeye played it. It's like this evil kid that would like
saying it
kill
right.
people. It's so fucked. It's called Lucius, yeah. And I would hate watching.
Jack,
the
is that a
gameplay of
Mandela
shit.
effect?
It's not a Mandela
I
effect.
don't think that game ever came out.
Look it up, Jack. Do your fucking job.
I don't know why I just keep thinking of like Dishonored when you say Lucius.
No, Dishonored, totally different.
Keep thinking of Saints Row.
Lucius is like I don't know. I didn't watch any gameplay because I was too scared to watch it.
Lucius.
But it was literally Brightburn without superpowers. And it's just this evil kid killing people. And he
Yeah.
looks... no,
I don't
I'm
know.
saying that because he looks exactly like that kid.
Really?
Yeah, but anyway.
Damn, I wish I could build on that more.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
if
thought you fucking knew about that one.
Maybe if you showed me some shit, I might.
Yeah, that kid.
Never seen it.
I don't
It
know if
reminds
I
me of
have.
it.
Yeah, no.
And
No.
dude,
That's crazy.
and you know what? It was like bad vibes, bro. When he like took that plane down at the end,
Mm-hmm.
like it was nothing.
It reminded me of The Boys a lot.
Yeah, right.
Like
an
how
evil
Homelander just doesn't give a
superhero,
fuck. And
Doesn't
he's,
give a shit.
That's why they gotta make a part 2 when he's older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
100%.
so
No,
much
I would.
better.
Yeah, that was a great take. I think Brightburn 2 would be an amazing.
Brightburn too.
Because
Amazing
everyone
movie.
likes that dark shit. They want rated R like super.
I mean, it's just.
Yeah,
I
they
feel like
do.
for me, it's more the idea that like a director's stepping out of their role of just kind of being in this situation where like a lot of people don't get to see someone. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like Brightburn, it was like a situation where like everybody's always used to being like, oh, this is the superhero,
Yeah, super.
or this is the super kid and he's raised to do this. Whereas Brightburn's fully taking the opposite
Mega
way, where it's
Man.
like, yeah, it's like these are these parents trying to raise them, and it's so much more realistic. Of like, this is kind of like,
He like
what it would
rebels.
be
He gets
like.
bullied and shit.
yeah, two human parents trying to raise this like super being from another planet. It's like it makes sense that he'd be sitting there just trying to fight them on everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up doing all this fucked up shit. It's like there's a sense of like groundedness to it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I feel like it's sad, but people like don't want that hero. They want that kind
Yeah.
of villainous. That's why
Dark, gritty.
Dune.
It hits a different spot.
Dune.
Yeah, it's just different.
Brightburn.
That's why people like the boys.
I just
so
hate
much.
predictability.
Boys.
It's nice when you're watching
Yeah.
something and it's
It's
like
more real, I would say.
Yeah. I was gonna say like down to the scientific like side of it, like your brain loves to chew shit up
Mhm.
and not be able to guess what it can. Like your brain is always like whether you are doing it consciously, every single second your brain is constantly scanning an environment and it's making calculations. It's trying to predict shit. That's what the human brain does. It's always predicting what the next thing is. So it's like even right now, like as I'm saying, you're gonna predict what the next word out of my mouth is without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because you're just like you're hearing it and you're just like, okay, this is probably what he's gonna
Right?
say.
Yeah.
Like it's doing these calculations. So when you're in a movie and your brain is predicting without like like subconsciously it's predicting, and something happens that your brain didn't predict, it sends out receptors in your mind where it's like,
Alright, bro.
no, dude, this is serious. This is serious.
Yeah.
This is why you find certain things intriguing.
Right.
Because you hear shit that you don't expect to hear, and it sends off a chemical reaction in your mind. And that's why you love those feelings of like new things.
Oh, that's like.
When
Right, it's
have
just
you
like
ever done
going
something
to the-
new?
It's like going to the zoo for the first time. You're like, whoa, monkeys, gorillas, like in front of me. I don't see that
Yeah.
every day, you know?
Right.
Like-
no, I get it. Yeah.
Like when things happen that your brain can't predict, it sends off like a reaction, and it's addicting that feeling. That's why doing new shit is all that like it's so awesome because when you're doing the same stuff all the time, that's why these days blend together. If you're doing the same thing every day, all of a sudden
Yeah.
it goes from like 1 second to the other, and all of
Oh,
a
for
sudden
sure.
it's been 6 hours. It's because you're so used to doing the repeated tasks. But the days that you remember being memorable, something new or something different happened that day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like Monday to Friday, you're working your ass off all week. Everything blends together. But then you do some weird random shit on Friday night or Saturday night, and you're like, that's why the weekends are more memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%,
No, yeah.
dude.
Like, it's not that, like, you know, it's not like
You're
that.
talking about live for the weekend.
Yeah, there's not something-
Weekends are the only
yeah.
thing that is you can change how different it is.
Yeah. Like,
No,
even if you're not doing
it's
something
great.
crazy fun, no matter what, as long as you're breaking up the routine, your mind's going to remember that more.
Nah.
Like,
Yeah.
even if you're just doing something you don't normally do on a Tuesday, all of a sudden your brain's going to take that, log it, and it's sending out, like, a reaction. And
It's like-
you're getting some kind of dopamine off of just doing that new task.
Yeah, and that's why you're like, oh, you're always at this normal state. You don't really remember most days, but some days you're like, oh, I remember something bad happened,
Yeah.
and then that's what you remember, or something really good happens, that's what you remember.
And it leaves-
But most
it leaves
days,
shit
if
with
it,
you,
when
yeah.
it's normal, like most days, you go to work, lift, sleep, normal day.
100%, yeah. Like, I'm sure it was exhilarating when you jumped out of that plane.
Oh yeah.
You were experiencing like 10 different
That's
feelings
exactly
for the
what I
very
thought
first
of.
time. Like that free fall feeling for that extended amount of time and just jumping and just like floating through the air, especially. And while you're doing it on a trip, like I can only imagine the amount of emotions you were bombarded with. And that's always going to be a huge memory in your mind
Oh yeah.
just because of the fact that you're doing so many new things at the exact same time.
Yeah, bro.
You're free falling. You've never felt this kind of pressure of wind against your face before. You're sitting there attached to someone you've never even met. You know,
Going over the
there's so many different things
ocean.
that your brain is reacting to in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the unexpectedness of it, of like just some random guy being like, hey, let's send you out of a plane. And you're just like, all right, yeah, let's do it. You know, and you're probably like a little tipsy. You know,
I was convincing myself they were all trying to kill me.
exactly. You know what I'm
The
saying?
nerves
So-
hit you, bro. I had a
Yeah.
fucking the worst stomach ache on the plane right up.
Yeah.
You have to reach 10,000 feet.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine what was going through your head.
Jack, you didn't even know I skydived? In Mexico.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. We met some millionaire guy.
I met a millionaire and he fucking
He's like,
paid for me to go
I'm going
skydiving.
to send you out a plane, boy.
Yeah, bro. It's
I like you.
crazy.
I'm going to send you out a plane. And he
It's
took.
fucking nuts. I
yeah.
went right over the ocean. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it was dope. We have a whole video of it.
I told you that, bro.
I'll put up a video right here. This is a
I
video
did.
of Ryan landing on the beach.
10,000 feet, bro.
And I just want to say all of this just to speak to the fact that, like, when you're bombarded with a whole set of emotions you haven't felt for the first time, it's exhilarating for your brain to just depict. So that's why I'm saying to bring everything full circle. It's like when you're watching a movie and you're instilled this emotion that you haven't felt for the first time. That's why I think it's so cool that a director has this idea in his head, takes all of these different kind of like tools that he can use and conveys this feeling to you. And it's sitting here in this brain, just breaking it down, being like, wow, I was not expecting that to happen next.
Do I?
Like when I was watching that fight scene, bro. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to let you speak. I just wanted to finish this out real quick.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching that fight scene in Dune and Timothée Chalamet does that spinning like fucking jump over
That was sick.
over Austin Butler.
Sick.
I was not expecting that at all. Like I was expecting the crazy knife fights and like in my head I'm like, "Oh yeah, one of them is just going to hold the knife up to his throat and probably like try to put him in like an end game situation."
Oh,
But no, and then Timothy does that spinning jump and I literally you and me both looked at each other and went like,
Holy
shit. Cuz it's like, dude, you don't expect that and it, like you know, like, I mean, you were saying your hands were sweating. I was sitting there at that moment.
I
My heart was
sweated the
racing.
my hands were.
That's why I'm saying, don't you guys think it's insane, the idea that, like, just off of that movie and just, like, of what you're watching, your heart is racing just watching it happen because of how,
That's
like,
the whole
exhilarating it
Dune
is.
shit. Like
And that is what I'm saying.
Every, like, major little thing in Dune is, like,
Yeah.
even getting the sandworm.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to
Like,
retract it.
fuck.
It was a breath of fresh air. And that's how most movies should be. They should always be instilling that feeling. Not the heart race necessarily, but like just the feeling of
don't
like,
know,
oh
bro.
wow, I just watched some good shit.
It's hard to constantly keep people like
Yeah.
surprised
whole
and
point.
shit.
I mean,
though.
I agree. But if you're putting millions into something, you should be able to hit that mark.
Where's all that money going to, bro?
Well,
The actors. The majority of it goes towards the actors when they have
Wait,
A-list
Tony.
actors.
Tony, whoa, back to like how something like different affects your brain. Are you for like fan wanting films or a director just let the director do his thing? Cause like when a fan,
What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
all right.
Elaborate.
So like I think it was No Way From Home
Yep.
with the old.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like you're saying, like fan
keep
service
fan
versus like the
wanted-
director and their
they wanted
vision.
it. I mean, I liked it, but like, let's take it to another example. Like
I think there's a blend that it has to come down to.
you want something to happen, like you just want this certain person to win and they win, or
Yeah.
you just let the director cook, but you might not like it. Like
It's a blend. It really does come down to a blend. Like
You
with
know what
the
I mean,
Deadpool,
though,
the
right?
yeah. Like for me, the way I could relate it is like Deadpool and Wolverine. All of the fans want to see Deadpool and Wolverine happen. You know what I mean? And I mean, if the
Yeah, it is
director's
a blend,
immediate
isn't
vision was like they didn't want Wolverine in it, I understand the idea of like them wanting to keep it Deadpool. But in this case, I mean, it's awesome that they're working a story out where both coincide. You know what I mean? And I think that I trust the process for this situation, for example. But I do agree, like in the sense of like
yeah, it is a blend.
it's tough. Like I think fan service comes down to a point where like you can't be too deep into the fan service.
It's like
I think
you
it's
make
pretty
a movie-
rare.
Yeah.
What's the plot for fan service?
Yeah, it's like
Well, no, I can bring up like I mean this is some nerdy shit or not nerdy shit necessarily, but there was like a show on Disney called Star versus like the Forces of Evil,
Oh, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was on Disney. It aired on Disney for a while. I think there were 3 or 4 seasons. But the only reason I bring this show up is the first 3 seasons, the main 2 characters are this guy named Marco and this girl named Star. And everybody was shipping them every season. And the creator said multiple times, like, she was like, they were always meant to just be friends. And then in the 4th season, they end up, like, kissing. I mean, shit, spoiler. But they end up, like, kissing and becoming together.
Did that happen with iCarly?
Yeah, sort of.
Did
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean, in the new...
The reboot?
Yeah, the reboot, they ended up making out and dating and shit, yeah.
Hot.
That was crazy watching Freddie, because he has a wife and kid in real life. It's the same
I'm
shit with Tom
saying.
Holland and Zendaya. I was
Yeah,
like, this is
full
fucked.
circle. I can never.
But no, the reason I bring up the Star and Marco thing, I'm like, fan service went so crazy that they're like, okay, we're going to do the finale of the series of them 2 being together. And they ended the full series with them being together. And I'm like, dude, it just felt like so forced. And it was like one of these situations where they were just doing it because they knew the fans wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm with you in the sense of like,
It's like a blend.
I'm like, dude, yeah, you got to blend it together of like, okay, let's feel out the fans a little bit, but also kind of go with our vision as the main.
100%.
You know, I think the director's vision is always going to take priority. I think it should take priority.
If you had a movie that you wanted to happen,
Yeah.
and you got everything you wanted, or you got the movie
Yeah.
kind of like that, but someone changed it,
Yeah.
do you like the change, or do you want it how you
Yeah,
want
it's
it?
tough. Because I'm genuinely, like, I don't want to talk about this too much, but I'm genuinely fascinated with the production of movies. And, like, I would love to if I was ever in this situation someday in the future. Like, if I had the money and I just had the time, I would love to, like, make a movie or just do something like
That'd be
that. Like, I
sick.
think it's so cool. Like, I talk to Ryan all the time about, like, the idea of, like, writing and just producing a movie. It's like, I love that shit.
That shit
Just
is-
because I have so many ideas in my head and I'd love to just put that out. I'm like, dude, I don't. But that's why I see this stuff, like, with Dune. I'm like, it's so cool to think that this guy, working with a full team, of course, but, you know, the director is sitting here, like, I have these visions in my head, and this is how we're going to make it.
He did
Fuck, they clearly crushed it with these 2.
such a good
Full circle this episode, for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
Like, I know I sound like a broken record, but damn.
back
some
to
good
Dune.
shit.
We're still talking about
You
Dune,
gotta-
and that was a great
You
movie.
got to give your flowers to the movies when they do it, because a lot of movies lately haven't. Like, we talked about it last episode. The dry spell fucking ended with this one. And hopefully we see a streak this year after this point.
Like, could you predict Dune? Like, when you came back into Dune
The
2,
first one,
could you predict Dune
sorta. The second one, fucking no.
2? I love when movies
the
can't.
first one was good, but the sequel crushed it. That's one of
I
those
couldn't
very
predict
rare
any
situations.
part of it.
Really?
It's like you're watching a whole new like world, pretty much.
Well, it's a bunch
Yeah.
of technology. You have no idea how it works or anything.
I don't know. In the first one, I kind of felt like the Emperor was gonna
Like,
send people to kill them after they met. You know what I mean? He was like, "Oh yeah, we won't kill anybody."
it kind of reminded me of like Tenet, kind of.
It did?
Nah.
Yeah. Oddly enough, it's very similar
You
vibe.
couldn't fucking predict anything in Tenet
Yeah.
at all.
The movie
Yeah.
was so
You know what I mean?
Mo-
so all over.
Movies
Like
and
it-
TV shows where you can't
It
predict.
took a lot of
are peak.
fucking brain power to comprehend.
Christopher
Tenet.
Nolan is a genius,
And,
dude.
did he make that?
Yeah, Christopher
Wow,
Nolan
I
did
didn't even know
Tenet.
that.
Yeah.
Dark Knight guy.
People say that Tenet's one of Christopher Nolan's worst films, and I think
would've
it's
s-
misunderstood. I think it's
I
misunderstood.
think that's a movie that comes to mind all the time when I think of like just
So
good
cool.
production and thinking ahead
Well, and you know me, dude. I love anything that deals with time.
and using your
God.
head,
That
bro.
must have
Yeah.
been a lot of
Yeah.
fucking
I'm like watching those scenes back, dude. Like Tenet is one of those movies where it has rewatch value, and I
It's just
love that.
fucking crazy.
I love when a movie has a reason to watch it a second time.
I remember where we were when we watched it.
Yeah.
Fucking Utah.
Yeah.
I just, dude, it's just.
Yeah, during peak COVID too, we had to wear masks through the theater. You
Yeah,
remember
it's
that?
just such a random movie I think about like often.
Yeah.
I don't for no reason. It's just I
It
don't.
reminds me a lot of like BioShock for some reason.
BioShock, really?
Yeah, because BioShock has all the lighthouses in BioShock Infinite where like there's all these different realities. And there's like this whole thing with time. It'd be too
I
much
don't
to
know
get into right
yeah,
now.
I don't know anything.
But all I want
about
to say
it.
with like Tenet, dude, like the whole like the heist scene, for example, you know, when they like deal with
Which
the
one?
painting. It's kind of like midway through the movie where they were like, you know how they were like trafficking shit through like the art?
I'm blanking on
Yeah,
that.
you'll have to watch it again. But they go to this like fancy facility and there's like this art that they have to get into like a vault and shit.
Yeah.
And there's like this whole backwards time scene.
Yeah.
If you rewatch the movie, it completely changes the way you look at the
It's
scene. Because you
fucking-
know that they're going to be stealing it.
It's
So you're watching
crazy.
certain moments and you can see certain moments that
This-
are forward in time.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that makes so much sense why this person is walking backwards in real life normally. Like, there's so many scenes where it's like you would have no idea after a second watch.
The part I think
Especially the
about
ending.
the whole time
Dude.
is like the part I go to immediately is where they were fighting themselves at one point.
Mm-hmm.
When they were masked up in those black suits.
Yeah.
The masks on. It's like
Yeah.
they were fighting themselves.
And they're using these little time cubes to, like, fucking...
Yeah.
To, like, okay, in this cube, you're safe. But the second you walk out, now it's like, all right.
It's like, okay, that's why he spared him, because he's fighting himself.
And it's so high stakes because if this doesn't get taken down, the whole world is over.
It's
Because
fucking...
it's like a nuclear situation.
Anyway, yeah.
It was almost like some Mission Impossible shit, but like time travel, like
Dude,
put into it.
it's-
Yeah, it felt like just like a Mission Impossible movie, but no Tom Cruise and it's time travel.
I fucking love that movie.
So cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you've been quite. Have you not seen Tenet?
No.
We have to watch Tenet.
That's why I was
I don't
like,
know, Dan. Don't take any shots at this. I don't know if you can comprehend it.
Yeah,
Really?
you have to watch it completely sober. Otherwise, you will not.
That's not a shot. Don't make that face. Dude, Dan couldn't sit through that one movie, bro.
what movie?
No, dude, you actually don't know this. Dan loves fucking locking in. For
Fucking
movies.
Eisenhower or whatever it's called. The guy that made the nuclear
He
bomb.
said Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
He said
You couldn't sit through that.
I
Eisenhower.
watched it.
That's what.
Yeah,
he
but
said.
you can. Did you like understand it?
Hmm?
Okay, never mind.
I just didn't really like it.
Bro went full
'cause it was
Steiny
just
there.
kinda
Did you
normal.
like understand it though?
Hmm? It wasn't that. I
Oh,
just
yeah, I
like,
know.
it was just like a history document,
I've never
pretty
seen
much.
I heard it's pretty good though.
I think Dan would enjoy the movie. I just think afterwards he would be like, but I don't understand this part. And then we'd rewatch those scenes and I would
Yes.
kind of like walk
That's
him
what I
through it a
mean.
little
It's
bit.
a movie. You really have to.
But I think Dan would still really enjoy it, I think.
Tenet? I don't
Dan,
know.
you would like Tenet. Do you like time travel
I got
stuff?
a lot. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, you would really like Tenet then.
I'm not throwing shots. I'm
Tenet
just
is
saying, it's
Tenet
hard
is
to
genuinely
fucking-
probably one of my favorite time travel movies. And I didn't like it after the first watch, I'm not going to lie. I watched it the first time, I was like, eh. And then I gave it a second go, and I was like, this is a good fucking movie.
I think midway through the film, I started liking it.
It gave me like Matrix vibes, kind of crossed with what you were saying. Like it was like a whole mix of like
It's-
emotions.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tenet, beautiful movie. Just to close that out altogether. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah,
Genius fucking production.
and you know what's cool too? Tenet, same way forwards and backwards. It was kind of the idea with the movie. Tenet.
Yeah. Oh, the word.
Oh,
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's like Tenet.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie is like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is forwards and backwards. Like, yeah, the name itself too, it's parallel, like
Yeah, yeah.
Tenet, and back. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. I think that's one of Christopher Nolan's better projects. I know a lot of people don't like it, but God, dude.
Fucking beautiful.
Now, do you guys think Dark Knight is the best Christopher Nolan movie?
That's the only one I
I
know.
haven't watched a lot of them, so
There's a lot of good Christopher Nolan movies.
that was night. Yeah, that should.
Now, do you guys think Dark Knight is the best Batman? Period.
No.
No.
What do you guys think the best Batman is? Because I like Christian Bale,
That
but I
was
think
the
it might be
best Batman.
overrated. I'm not gonna lie. Really?
Jack loves that old shit.
No, I think Dark Knight was the best Batman film I've watched.
Everyone's gonna hate me for that. I'm just gonna say that the Batman, bro, the new one, because I like.
I didn't
I
even
like-
finish that.
Hold on. I like how dark it was.
I'm gonna let you speak. Yeah, yeah.
I like how dark it was. I like how they showed it was only night. And though the one time they showed it was like sunset was at the end where it's like, okay, there was hope restored in the city.
Yeah, the sunrise.
So I like how like the cinematography. I love the suit. I think
Mhm.
that's the best suit they've ever made in any movie. And yeah, I just the
Yeah.
fight scenes and all that. Like the
I want to build on that
criminals,
too for a
yeah.
couple reasons. I do think the Batman was the best Batman we've seen.
Yeah, bro, absolutely.
For 3 reasons, and I will lay them out right now.
I am.
Reason 1, I think Batman is genuinely at his best in a film when it's an investigation kind of film.
Oh, it's full locked in on detective.
Setting the Batman in a premise where he was trying to solve this and it was working that out through the whole movie instead of just being like, here's this villain, this shit's going on, here's these fights. Instead, it was like what the fuck is going on? You know, right in the beginning,
they're
right in
cracking
the
a
beginning, I've
case.
only seen the movie a single time. And that was when it came out. That was the
Seen it,
only
like,
time I ever saw the
20
movie.
times.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying how memorable the movie was. I saw it one time when it released, and I still remember it starts off with the death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Batman is trying to figure, kind of what's going on. And they introduce him just bringing him into the street with these villains. Or not these villains, but just these criminals, like in the subway area.
Yeah.
They just introduce him as just this dark, brooding fucking person.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes straight into it of like, okay, this shit is going on right now. Like, what kind of villain would be killing these people and leaving these kind of, not trophies, but, you know, like signs behind of like, okay, I did this crime. And they just build out such a fucking tension throughout the movie of like, okay, some really fucked up shit is going on, and Batman's trying to figure it out, but also not trying to give himself away. And I really like the idea that they're building out this whole investigation the whole movie, and it makes it so much more compelling as a watcher or a listener. You know what I mean?
Because he's actually a detective. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
So that's like number one. Number one.
Fire.
Yeah, number one. That's one of the main reasons I think it's a beautiful movie. Number two is the fact that they cast Pattinson, right?
Yeah.
They cast Pattinson for the role, and they don't go overboard making him this kind of guy where he's like just always trying to steal the screen. You know what I mean? I feel like they fleshed out the world a lot more than they necessarily needed to.
What do you mean?
Like they had that whole 10-minute scene with Catwoman in the Penguins like club or whatever was going on.
Oh, in the iceberg lounge?
Yeah, where they show that like she's kind of like in this shitty situation that she shouldn't be in and all this stuff. And then they eventually pan over to Batman sneaking in, and they have their small interaction, you know, and they kind of build towards later moments.
I think it was mostly on Batman.
I mean, dude, there was a
very rarely
large...
wasn't.
Yeah, but there's a large portion where they were kind of just showing Catwoman and Penguin's interactions.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah,
There was a big portion. It was a...
Footage, I think,
Yeah.
dedicated towards Catwoman's story.
Really?
Yeah. Catwoman got a lot of screen time, Zoe Kravitz.
She did, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, they were really trying to flesh her out as a character.
Even like when she was like in the iceberg lounge, like they showed Batman like
Yeah, eventually,
the
but
contact lenses.
they did multiple scenes before that, before Batman was necessarily there.
I'm blanking right now.
Fair
I
enough.
say it, Dark Knight. I like it so much because Heath Ledger did it such a great job.
No, I'll give you that.
I mean, I didn't finish the Batman.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say, but like Heath Ledger, come on.
Yeah.
He was the.
No,
best
I'm with
Joker.
you.
He was a great actor.
I wanted to get to the third reason just before I let you guys do your pitches for the Dark Knight stuff. Because I did my two reasons. It was fleshing out the other characters and just the way that they kind of did the investigation story. But the third reason I had for the Batman was, dude, just like how you were kind of saying the cinematography and the way that they framed every scene, fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Every scene flowed perfectly into itself. And there was never a moment where you were kind of watching it and you were like, this feels like it's kind of taking away from the rest of the movie. Like, to do that with a 2-hour plus length movie.
3 hours.
Yeah. It's like,
You mean it's almost 2?
it's just over 2.
Yeah, it's almost.
It's
3.
just over. It's like 2 hours and like 34 minutes of runtime, not including the
240,
credits.
250.
Yeah.
247. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 2.5 hours of runtime, like film wise. And dude, that is like every single scene they flow together. It keeps such this like central vibe towards the entire movie, and I love the way that they just build out the world, and it sets you in just like this like you watch the movie and you're just like, okay, this is this Batman universe. You're never sitting there thinking like, okay, this is a new movie trying to put their spin on Batman. You know what I mean? And that's what I think you really got to think about at the end of these kind of movies. When you watch a movie like this, are you thinking at the end, God, this director is just kind of trying to make his stake? Or are you thinking at the end, damn, that was a fucking well-written like story. Like kind of how we felt at the end of this Dune movie. Not once during this movie you thought,
I got the same feeling once I was Batman. Yeah.
yeah, like you didn't get any feeling towards the end of this movie of like, okay, they're trying kind of hard here.
I think there's just
you know what I mean, right?
No, I just think there's a common interest between the two.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, it's this character development and the cinematography combined.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of showed how I guess his reputation in Batman
Yeah.
kind of got, he got more popular and he's finally got better.
Yeah.
Just the evolution of him.
Yeah.
And then in Dune, they showed this kid just rise to power.
Yeah.
So I like he's like they're both
really cool.
badasses.
Yeah.
They're both badasses. They know how to fight and shit.
Yeah.
And it's the cinematography. I think those common interests. Just
yeah,
You can really
100%.
tell when like the people that make the movie actually want to make the movie compared to all.
Yeah.
We have a high budget. I don't really care
yeah.
for this movie. Big difference.
Yeah, definitely. And Dan, you had the full table here. The last thing I wanted to say just before I fully close this out is that kind of just adding to what Ryan was saying. It takes a lot of talent and a lot of skill to blend beautifully together the cinematography with the story. Because you can have really good looking scenes and just a story that makes no sense. But they did such a good balance of like certain scenes where it looks beautiful, shot beautifully, and it adds to the story to where it doesn't stay its welcome or overstay its welcome, you know?
So you just describing that reminds me of Dune too. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I love this movie so much. Every single scene where they were like talking about Austin Butler's character, they were showing the Emperor on the screen or showing,
so good.
you know, the Maugdi and him slowly coming up throughout the film. Every single scene, I never watched a scene throughout the entire movie where I was like, okay, can we get back to this part? Like the whole time they were going off about the other characters, not once did I think in my head, can we get back to Timothée Chalamet? Yeah. Even though he was clearly the scene stealer, right?
Yep.
Like yeah, that's undebatable, right? Uh-huh. But every single time he wasn't on the screen, you weren't sitting there just craving to be back to him, and I think that's a huge skill to have in a movie. That's a lot of movies where you're watching it and you're like, okay, can we get back to Batman? Can we get back to this? You know?
It's just like common thing. Like there's that feeling you get when the main character is not on the screen. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Main character's a big badass. He's not on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they make the main character feel like cooler in a way.
Exactly, and that's what I was like getting to. That's what I was.
Feel that too?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to say with that is that like
less is more.
They cut away from Timothée Chalamet, who's the main character.
Yeah.
And you're not sitting there being like pulled back. You're
watching
watching Austin Butler on the screen, or you're watching them show these women on another like planet side. You know, like when Florence Pugh was on the screen with the Emperor Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Those two are on the screen, and you're watching that scene, and you're not sitting there like, okay, fuck, can we get back to like his mom and like Timothée Chalamet? Can we get back to that?
For sure.
You know, the whole time I was just watching the scene compelled by what they were talking about because every scene felt important. I think it's a huge
every word.
Yes, it is.
I swear.
It's seriously like very hard to kind of convey that feeling of like what you're watching is important, especially in today's day and age with our attention spans. I mean, fuck, dude.
It's almost a 3-hour movie.
Like TikTok and all these other apps have like we talked about in previous episodes. Like our attention spans are fucking dog shit. And the whole movie, like, the fact that we're all sitting there being, like, glued to the screen for over a 2-hour-long movie. Like, dude, the movie started at 6 p.m. and we were there until 8:30.
Yeah.
You know, albeit some of it was, you know, trailers. Like, that's still over 2 hours that we're sitting there glued to the screen. Like, I was trying to sprint back from the bathroom when I had to run to go pee. You know what I mean?
Like, you can't miss, like, a sentence on... That's the good part.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. I said my piece. I didn't mean to talk too much for this point. I wanted to give you your room to speak about The Dark Knight. I really want to get that out. That's how I felt about, you know, the Batman and...
Now that kind of
movie production in general.
That kind of reminds me of, like, Dark Knight was so good for me because I just wanted to see...
No, that's respectable. It's a respectable take.
So it's, like... contradicts what you said, but like that's one of those movies where you like a character so much that you're like, oh, I just want to see that.
And that's why I'm saying it's fair because I would say if there's any contender for the Batman, it is The Dark Knight. I mean, The Dark Knight was one of the most fucking beautifully shot movies and well fucking directed. Yeah, Christopher Nolan killed it with The Dark Knight. Like, I mean, that's one of the main movies that like you hear Christopher Nolan, that's like the top of the list.
That's the only one I think of.
It is one of his best films. I mean, he's got some really good films, but that is definitely one of his best.
Yeah.
I'm just fuck. And I think the fact that Heath Ledger isn't alive anymore is such like an added aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the post-mortem effect. Yeah,
the remorse.
It adds to it for sure.
Lil Peep and X.
Like when you listen to music after artists die.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching Sidetracked. I'm your host.
Fuck yeah, that about wraps it up.
Yeah, that closes it. Yeah. Closes it. Go to @Sidetracked on all the social medias. You'll find us. This whole what?
This whole thing was about movies.
Yeah, pretty much the whole.
Hope you guys like movies.
Back, bro.
Yeah.
You can title this.
It's a movie pod.
Some shit to do with doing. Yeah.
Yeah, movie talk.
All right. Well, peace out, y'all.
Yeah. See ya.